Hey folks, I'm Carissa.
And I'm Nikki.
And welcome to New Strangeland. Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of New Strangeland. We hope you had a strange week. On this week's episode, we're talking about
the North Pond Hermit.
the North Pond Hermit. There you go.
Yeah.
Not the hermit frog.
No, not the
I wanted to
Hermit
say.
the frog.
Hermit the frog.
Oh, man. And, also, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I thought you were going to start singing Happy Birthday. Happy New Year
to you.
Cha-cha-cha.
How old are you now?
2021. I just slept today,
Well, that's fun.
and I ate Chipotle.
That's good.
So that was fine.
Yeah,
It was fine.
it was fine. Everything's fine.
This is fine.
We just go into this year just quietly. You know?
No.
It's no.
No. You know it's not going to happen. Tomorrow's another day.
And you just keep creeping.
You just creeping?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant like being creepy. Like you just keep creeping.
Just being real creepy.
I just like pictured like the spaghetti like gif like just like behind the plant like
Yeah, no, I meant like, slowly walking,
Yes.
creeping.
Creeping. Creeping.
Creeping.
Hell. So anyways, the North Pond Hermit. Carissa, have you ever heard of this dude?
No.
Oh, okay. No. So, I would like to start off by saying I have been obsessed with this story ever since I first read about it. I think the first time I heard about this was like probably in like 2013, 2014.
Oh.
And I had read an article about this dude and I don't know, somewhere on the internet. But I just remember like reading about this guy and I was just like, what the fuck, his story is insane. And I got really excited because a few years later in 2017, the same guy that put out that initial article, he wrote a book called Stranger in the Woods, which it's by Michael Finkel. I'll probably talk about it later, but it's so good. But yeah, so basically,
Does it have to do with the hermit?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it like Michael Finkel was in correspondence with him while he was in jail.
Oh.
So
this is an actual dude.
oh yeah,
Okay.
it's wild. So
All right.
all right, let's set the scene here.
Let's see.
So, on April 4th, 2013, Sergeant Terry Hughes responded to a burglary at Pine Tree Camp in Rome, Maine. There, he came face to face with the culprit. Freshly shaved, eyeglasses, wool ski hat. He just looked super normal, not like some like homely kind of bum person. Like he didn't look like someone that would be doing a B&E, like
Right. Okay.
So, and it dawned on Sergeant Terry Hughes, that this could be the Hermit.
Oh.
This guy has been a legend in the area for almost 3 decades at this point.
Really?
Yes. So, Terry Hughes, he walks back to his car. He calls the Maine State Police, and in particular this trooper, Diane Perkins. And Diane Perkins has been like, she's like been like following all the breaking, like the burglaries that the hermit has been doing over the past like 15 years, like prior to this, and she's been wanting to catch him basically. So they like she ends up getting there. The burglar in question, when he gets out of the dining hall and outside, Sergeant Hughes confronts him, and the culprit totally complied and everything, and then the state trooper got there and they arrested him. At first he refused to give his name and he had no identification, and then finally he like started to open up a little bit, and he gave his full name and his date of birth, and he did it like so, like, it just, there was no hesitation when he finally did it, that the state trooper was just like, oh my god, this has to be him. This is the guy. Wow. Like, who we've been looking for. So his name is Christopher Thomas Knight, born December 7th, 1965. And yeah, this is his story. So initially they asked him, they're like, so how long have you been living out in these woods? And his response was, when did Chernobyl happen?
What?
Yeah, so 1986.
Holy shit.
Yes.
So he was only like 21.
He was 20 when he initially went out in the woods. But yeah, so for 27 years he lived in the woods of Maine.
That's crazy.
Like, yeah. So he yes. So Knight stated that he only ever lived in a tent. He never lit a fire that entire time. Yeah, because he was scared that people would see the smoke and find him.
Right.
And he just wanted to be left alone.
Okay.
Yeah. And he only moved at night, and he basically depended on like stealing from people to ensure his survival.
Wow.
Yeah. So so yeah, throughout like this community, he's been a complete legend. People weren't sure that he was even real, because like a lot of times just like small things would be missing from their house, like the batteries out of flashlights and stuff. Like he would leave the flashlight but take all like the batteries out of stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And when he was arrested, the community was like, oh my god, like people were like, thank god I'm not crazy, like this person's real.
Yeah.
And yeah, so everyone was like really, they were kind of more excited, if anything, to find out more about this hermit dude.
Right.
Because like I'd be like, oh my god, like especially finding out like that he lived in the woods for so long.
Right.
Like how, I don't know.
How do you survive?
How do you survive? So, before we get into like how we got into the woods, like there have been many hermits throughout history, but none that have been recorded that were so isolated. He took no pictures, kept no journal. He spoke only once that entire time. And it was sometime in the 90s, he crossed paths with a hiker and he said hi.
What?
Yeah. That's it. That's
like he didn't talk to himself?
No. Which I talk to myself all the time.
Right.
Like, so, like, Rich will literally be like, what was that? I'm like, oh, nothing. I was just talking to myself.
Right. Like, I talk to myself all the time, too.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know, but I guess he didn't talk to himself.
That's weird.
Right? So, yeah. So, how did it start? So, in 1980, he drove his in 1986. He drove his 1985 Subaru Brat and until he reached the edge of Moosehead Lake. He just kept taking dirt roads until he ran out of gas. He then took his keys, put it in his center console, grabbed a tent, grabbed a backpack with just like some like small provisions, and just took off into the woods and started walking. Yeah. And so like he moved around a lot.
So nobody ever like reported him missing or anything?
He was reported missing by his family, but no one knew where to find him.
Right.
They had no idea.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So he would only stay in one place like maybe for a week or so. He was looking for like a more permanent place to eventually stay, and I believe it took him like a couple years, but he finally did find a spot, and it happened to only be 30 miles away from his childhood home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Isn't that like to like hike so far back down into Maine?
Right.
That he ended up 30 miles away from his childhood home.
Right. Huh.
So, because Moosehead Lake is like pretty far up there. I've been there once. But yeah, that was, I think like 2001 I was there. So he wasn't there then.
He wasn't there?
No, because he hiked back down. So, but if this was 1986,
Oh.
yes, he could have been there. So, why did he do it? I don't know.
I don't know. Why?
So, Christopher Knight's actions to dissociate himself from the world makes people wonder why. Typically, like, artists, authors, and quote-unquote geniuses have been recorded throughout history as being reclusive or hermits, like Henry David Thoreau going to Walden Pond. He wrote the book Walden. Chess grandmaster Bobby Fischer. He went into hiding for years after defeating, what's his name, Boris Spassky or whatever. And then also Van Gogh was a total loner.
Yeah.
And so, like, these are all, like, you know, artsy, like, kind of genius
Right.
people. So, yeah. But then, like, another reason why people, like, go be hermits is it's spiritual, religious reasons. Like, Buddha, Mohammed, and Jesus all spent significant time alone before rejoining society and introducing a new religion. And then also some hermits do it because they hate the world. So,
Well.
like, whether it be war, consumerism, global warming, and just the general disdain of mankind. But when Christopher Knight was finally asked, like, why he did it, he's like, I can't explain my actions. I had no plans when I left, and I just did it.
Oh. All
Literally,
right.
he's just like,
I just did it.
I'm just gonna go live in the woods now.
Okay.
So, Knight finally found a home in a particularly treacherous area riddled with boulders. There was a clearing in the middle of all these boulders, and like the boulders kind of acted like a barrier from the wind and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, he set up camp there, and that's the place that it was like 30 miles away from his childhood home. And like in the nearby surrounding area, like probably like 5-mile radius, like there was roughly 100 cabins. And so what he would do is he would just study the patterns of the occupants of like the cabins, like to see like, oh, do they live there full year round? When do they go to the store? Like,
Right.
you know, so he could get a feel of like when would be a good time to like go grab food and stuff.
Ah.
So, using the full moon as his flashlight, he didn't use an actual flashlight. He would only travel at night and just use the moon like a true mountain man.
Really?
He sometimes it was easier to travel by canoe because they were by like a lake and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he would like find someone nearby that like had a canoe that was flipped over like on shore. So he would just grab that canoe and take it to whatever place that he was going to or as close as he could. And then like he would especially use that canoe if like he needed like a mattress or like he would steal propane tanks. That's how he kept himself warm and cooked his food. He basically lived off of propane tanks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So people would be like they would just have randomly missing propane tanks and they'd be like, what the fuck? Where did my propane tank go?
How Oh, like that's so weird.
Yep, that's what he used. He had like a little propane, like a flat top to warm up
Oh.
food.
It's so funny.
Oh man, yeah, it's wild. Um, he would also like once he like got into a place, he would look for to see if they did have a spare key somewhere, and he would take it and hide it somewhere else on the property. So if he were to go back there, he would remember where the key was.
Oh, so then it wouldn't necessarily always look like a breaking and entering.
Yeah. Like,
oh,
yeah,
clever.
so that's why, like, he made people feel like they were crazy.
Right.
Because a lot of times it wasn't, like, a whole heck of a lot of stuff was gone.
Right. Just
But,
the necessities.
yeah. So, eventually people did take notice. Some were terrified by the North Pond Hermit. Others left pen and paper asking for a grocery list from him. And others would leave, like, bags of stuff for him. Like, just be like, oh, here, take this food, take, whatever you need.
I'd probably do that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Knight didn't trust them. He thought that these could be traps. So, which, I guess.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but, so he never took any of, like, the free stuff, so people kind of just stopped.
Oh.
And they just kind of accepted that this might happen to them. So, although this life of crime seemed a necessity to him, he took no pleasure in doing it. Each time he entered a home, he, like, could feel hot shame. Like, he hated that he had to steal from people. But
right.
that was his only way to live,
right.
really. So, and, like, just to be alone in the forest for so long, he never kept any journals or anything.
Yeah.
He did have a radio, so he was caught up on all current events.
Oh.
Yeah, like, he knew about, like, every election and, like, just, like, anything that happened in the world. He was on top of it. He would steal a lot of books. That's how he would keep himself occupied. There's actually a really cool video that I found online where, like, someone went and visited his camp. And, like, behind his camp, you could see, like, all these half-buried propane tanks and stuff. From, like, oh my god. Because, like, he needed about, I think it was, like, 4 propane tanks to last him from, I think it was, like, December 1st to April 10th or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was very careful and, like, meticulous about, like, his quote-unquote grocery list of stuff that he needed to survive. And, like, from the summertime to the fall, he would literally just eat so much food. Like, he loved candy and would take, like, people's Halloween candy would just, like, go absolutely missing. Because
that's funny.
Because he tried to pack on as much weight as he could before winter hit.
Right.
So usually in the coming spring, he was, like, back down all that weight. So he did say, like, there was, like, a couple winters where he thought he wouldn't make it.
That's so crazy.
Like, because, like, winter in Maine, being outside to exposure is no joke.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, I was thinking about that. I'm like, how the hell do you do that when you're, like, in winter?
I don't know. Like, he just layered up on a bunch of clothes. I'm still, like, boggled that he never lit a fire.
Yeah.
Never. Not
right.
once. So, also, he still had the same pair of glasses that he left with. They were never broken or scratched. Yeah, the same glasses that I think he probably got in, like, 1985 or something.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I would have broken those glasses, like, 8 times over
right?
in 27
I know, me too.
years. But yeah, and he loved to just always be clean. Like, he didn't want to ever appear dirty or, like, just in case he did come across someone, especially, like, when he would go break into someone's house, like, he would always do, like, be super clean shaven, like, dress, like, in really nice clean clothes. So that way, if anyone saw him, like, you know, later, like, walking down the road or whatever, he would look less suspicious.
Right.
Because you'd just be like, oh, it's just, you know.
Just a dude.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so he took great care of himself. His teeth were super rotted out, though. That was, like, the only thing that was wrong with him. I mean, all that candy.
I was just thinking, like, all that candy.
So.
And he probably, I don't know, maybe he brushed his teeth. I don't know.
I don't know if he brushed them. Or, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Oh, I always just think of, like, you know the movie Castaway?
Yes.
You know, like, when he has to, like, knock his own tooth out with that rock, that scene.
Isn't it an ice skate, too?
Oh, yes. Yes, there's an ice skate. And then, oh, yeah, that's what he does. He, like, jams, like, an ice skate and ties it to something. And then he takes the rock and hits the other end with it. Oh, my God. And then he passes out.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like, that's so... And I'm like, oh, man, I wonder if, like, he had to pull out any of his own teeth. Or he just, like, let them fall out. He also said he was never sick. Once. In that whole time. He said that you need to be in contact with other people to get sick.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. So, he was never
that's
sick.
Just so weird.
Yeah.
So weird.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, he would... sometimes he would eat, like, roadkill and stuff, too. He never really... And I also was, like, kind of shocked. Like, he never really learned how to, like, hunt.
Yeah.
Or fish or anything.
Huh.
Which I'm like...
You'd think you would want to.
Yeah.
I guess. But I guess he just had more fun eating other people's food.
Right?
I don't know.
Oh, man. But, yeah. No, so... He's pretty wild.
So what about now?
So, actually, I tried to find, like, the most recent things on him. I really couldn't find anything. I did read the book a few years ago. So, he was arrested, and he was in jail for, I think, like, a little under a year.
Okay.
He was in jail awaiting his court date. And during that time, this author, Michael Finkel, or actually he was a journalist, he started corresponding with him.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, Christopher Knight's, like, letters, like, were, like, super, like, short. Like, he didn't... You could tell that, like, he was interested in talking to Michael Finkel, but at the same time, he didn't want to get too friendly or familiar with him.
Right.
Because he's just so used to being alone.
Yeah.
So...
I wonder how he did in jail, then.
Oh, he hated it. Like...
Yeah.
Just, like... He was, like, really, really depressed in jail. Because, like, he couldn't get used to all the noise.
Oh, yeah.
That was the biggest thing, was the noise for him.
Huh. So it was 19... He was born in 65. So what does that make him now? What?
So... Shit. So he was 20... he was 47 years ago.
He's... Yeah. He's my parents' age.
Yeah.
So he's like...
So he's like 50...
55.
50, yeah, like 54, 55.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that was... When was he arrested again?
He was arrested in 2013.
Okay, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, yeah, no, he hated jail. Michael Finkel actually, like, he lives in Montana, but he took a plane to Maine and decided that he wanted to meet him. So they met 9 times for 1 hour, like, on visiting days and stuff like that, and he recorded as much as he could of their interactions to get as much information, like, of what happened.
It's so crazy.
And, like, Christopher Knight had to, like, actually, like, get used to talking again.
Right.
Because, like, he
He didn't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Or even apparently himself.
So I guess, like, every time he started to talk, it was always, like, it was very thought out. Like, he would, like, take, like, a pause, and then he would start talking. It was very slow, and, like, it's just, like, he thought about, like, every single, like, syllable that he was trying to say.
Is there any, like, anything on video for
No,
him?
I couldn't find any video. The only pictures I can find of him is him in, like, walking from the courthouse handcuffed.
Oh. Huh.
That's it.
But, well, and then, like, so I'm wondering, too, like, okay, so obviously, you know, he was reported missing, and somebody must have found his car, unless they just never reported.
Oh, as far as everyone knows, his car's still where he left it.
No way.
Yeah, well, because he, like, took so many little windy dirt roads, so it must have been, like...
Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's, oh.
Because no one has ever reported his car missing, or, like, had reported his car, like,
imagine if
found.
It's still there.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, apparently his car is still there. I don't know. We should find it.
Right?
That would be so
probably
cool.
Gonna be, like, so rotted out and stuff.
Oh, yeah. But still. I mean, cool. The keys are still in it.
Yeah, let's take it.
So there's that. It does need gas, though.
True. So, gotta bring a gas tank.
So, yeah, Finkel, like, interviewed him a bunch, and then he started to put his book together. When Christopher Knight finally went to trial, the judge was just, like, time served, basically.
Yeah.
Because he's just, like, the thought, like, he's gonna have so much issues just, like, reacclimating into regular life that they felt like jail time wasn't really gonna service him.
Right.
Or anyone.
Right.
And even, like, the people that were, like, affected by this, they're like, no, we don't want to see him go to jail. We just want to see him, like, be happy. And, like, people would, like, reach out to him and be like, you can be a hermit on my property. Like, so, which was actually, like, that being a hermit was a fad in, like, the 1800s, by the way. In, like, England and France and shit. Like, if you had, like, a huge, like, villa or something, they were like, oh, we need a hermit to live on it because it makes us more eccentric.
Oh, I think I've heard of that before. Like, the town hermit, yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm like, oh my god, sign me up for that job. I want to be someone's
sign me
hermit.
up for that job. I'll be your hermit.
I'll be your local hermit. But yeah, so he... went and lived with his mom. His father had passed away, I want to say sometime in, like, the late 90s, early 2000s. So
after jail, he went and lived with his mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he has, I believe, one brother or maybe two brothers. And that was, like, one thing he felt really bad about is he didn't finish paying off his brother for that car. He still
that's the one thing.
He's still
not leaving your family behind, and then showing up 20-something years later because you were arrested.
Yeah.
And then, oh hi mom, I know you reported me missing, but I've been a hermit for 27 years.
Can I come home?
Can I come home? Oh my god.
So yeah, no, he went to go live with his mom, and I forgot, he did end up getting a job.
So you think he's a hermit now, still, or no?
No, as far as I know, because Michael Finkel did go back and visit him at his mom's house, he wasn't really, like, a hermit. He didn't really go out, but he did get a job, and he, like, just stayed at home mainly, and he wasn't looking for friends or anything, even though so many people wanted to be his friend.
Right.
And, like, even, like, two people, like, proposed to him. Like, I want to marry you.
Oh my gosh.
Well, like, yeah, because, like, everyone expected, like, him to have, like, some, like, sort of, like, wisdom or something for, like, living out there for so long. And, when like Michael Finkel, when in his interviews, he was just like, "Oh, like, do you have any?" And then like Christopher Knight thought about it, and he's like, "Get enough sleep." That's what he learned in that 27 years.
Good to know.
So
good to know.
I do not take my naps lightly, my friend.
Yep. Get enough sleep.
But yeah, I was just gonna end his little ditty with this. This is a quote from him about just being alone. And it's really, like, kind of sad, but really cool. So he said, "It's complicated. Solitude bestows an increase in something valuable. I can't dismiss that idea. Solitude increased my perception, but here's the tricky thing. When I applied my increased perception to myself, I lost my identity. There was no audience, no one to perform for. There was no need to define myself. I became irrelevant. My desires dropped away. I didn't long for anything. I didn't even have a name. To put it romantically, I was completely free." I'm like, oh my god. And he's like smart. Like, obviously, like, he's so like eloquent in his words and stuff. But yeah.
Just wanted to be a hermit.
He just wanted to be a hermit. I don't know. I wonder if he would go back to that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Or
stay.
Or stay here. Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. Part of me would think that he would want to go back, but I feel like it's kind of, at this point, people know about him too.
Yeah.
So it's like
the jig's up. Like, if like he doesn't show up for work one day, they're just gonna be like, oh yeah.
Oh, he's back at his little hermit spot.
Yep.
Or maybe he'll find a new one.
Doing hermit things.
Doing hermit things.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just so crazy because I feel like everyone at some point in their life has that idea to just be like, oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna go live in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And he did it.
He did it.
For many years.
For a long time.
Yeah.
For, basically my entire life.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And, like, I'm just like, holy shit. Like, and then, like, I think, like, if he were to have died out there, would he ever be found?
Right. Yeah.
And then, like, even if he was found, like, would he be, like, if he was found at his camp and stuff, like, I guess
that they might be able to identify him, but maybe not even identify him.
But they would be able to just be like, oh, this is
the hermit
dude. Yeah. But, like, if he didn't die at his camp, like,
who knows if he would have been found.
Yeah, or if he was found, he would just be labeled as John Doe forever.
Yeah, forever.
So.
But then it's like, could he have survived all that long? How much longer could he have survived out there?
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, like, 47, so another 10 years, he would have been 57, like.
Well, that's this, here, so, because he's been in his mom's, obviously, for.
Yeah, 6 years, I would say.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe he could have kept going. Like, there's this documentary from, I think, like, the 70s. That was a PBS documentary. And it's about this guy, Dick Prenneke, who, like, he was an older dude. I want to say that he was, like, 70 when he went to do this. He just, like, brought, like basic tool heads and literally, and, like, brought it to the wilderness of Alaska and built himself a cabin and lived out in Alaska. But, like, he documented the whole thing.
Right.
So, I don't think he was, like, I'm pretty sure he had a cameraman. But other than that, he did everything himself. It's so wild. Yeah. But he did it differently. Like, he actually built a house and stuff.
Right, where he didn't have a tent. And
yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm like, how he must have had to have multiple tents.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because one tent's not gonna last.
Well, like, yeah, no. If you, I'll link this video. We'll put in the notes. When it shows his camp, like, it shows his tent, and it's like tarps and tarps, like, surrounding, like, I believe, like, what's underneath it is like a regular tent.
Okay.
So it was like insulated from
all the tarps.
Yeah, and from the elements and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
So crazy.
Right?
Like, I just can't imagine that.
Dude, I don't know. So, but yeah, he's basically really cool to me. And I'm like, I secretly love him. Maybe I was one of those proposals. I don't know.
No.
But yeah, no, when I initially had read this story, I was like, holy fucking shit. That is the craziest shit ever.
And it makes you wonder how many hermits there are out there.
Yeah. Like actual hermits.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like, yeah. Especially someone that's as like committed as he was, because like, I mean, there are like, you know, people that are like labeled hermits and stuff, but they still go into town, right? They like, you know, interact with, they have some interaction, you know, purchasing something or whatever. So I don't know, but I don't think I guess we wouldn't know if there's anyone as extreme as him, because they'd be so hidden.
That's true. So, that is very true.
Yeah. I still am like, what the fuck? Like, how did he not develop any, like, outdoorsy skills, like hunting or, like...
He's just a bougie hermit.
A bougie-ass hermit.
Just stealing from people.
Yeah, like, I don't know, that still makes me...
Too bougie to hunt.
Right? No, that is beneath me.
I live in a tent, and I don't use fire, but I'm not gonna hunt. Maybe that's why, because he didn't... Well, he had the propane stuff.
Yeah, he had the propane stuff. He could still cook shit.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe the fact that, like... Oh, you said he got roadkill, but... Like...
Oh, dude, he ate that shit raw, too. Yeah, because that was before he had the propane tank. Yeah.
Gross. But, I mean, there's a lot of... I feel like if you're, like, a hunt... Especially, well, I guess, like, bigger things, that's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, like, have you... If... I haven't read it.
Deer and stuff.
But, like, I watched the movie of Into the Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that scene with, like, the moose? And he couldn't...
I don't remember that scene.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like, so he kills a moose. And shit. He's like, fuck yeah, I killed a moose. I should be so good for, you know, winter. But he doesn't take into account how much work it is to like, butchering it.
Yeah.
And he can't fucking do it by himself.
Right.
And he ends up, like, the meat ends up fucking going to shit.
Yeah. Like,
because, like, flies end up laying eggs on it.
Right.
And there's larvae and stuff, so, yeah.
I know, I think I remember that now, yeah.
And he's, like, struggling with moving the moose around and stuff.
Yeah. That movie was so crazy. Or that whole story was just so crazy, too. That
story is crazy. Actually, a few months ago, Alaska, they recently removed the bus.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they airlifted that sucker out of there because it was becoming too much of a hazard. There was, like, so many hikers that, like, would try to go to, like, you know, see the bus attraction.
Right.
But, like, at certain times of the year, like, there's, like, this river right by it will be, like, flooded, and it's just, like, there have been a lot of people that died just trying to visit it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they're like, it's too much of a...
Yeah,
like
liability. That whole story was crazy. It was like, wasn't it like literally, if he was just able to survive like, friggin' like 2 weeks or something, or like, or a few days?
No, he was just trying to do it for like...
No, like at the end, he was if he had just survived a few more days or a week or something that, hikers would have found him. Because obviously his body was found. Or, like, something like that.
Yeah.
I was just
I think it was, like, something like 10 days later or something. Like,
yeah. But obviously I know he, like...
Yeah.
Was it, like, he ate, like, this poisonous thing and that was what the cause?
No, it was straight up starvation.
Yeah, but I thought he ate something poisonous that caused him to starve.
No.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, I don't know. I can't... Because, like,
Because he confused, like, some sort of thing.
That caused the death, because I remember reading up on, like, how he actually died, and it was just straight up starvation. Like, he just didn't have enough food.
Huh. Maybe that was it, too. Well, I thought that, yes, was a factor, but then I thought, like, he did eat something because he was trying to find something. I don't know.
Well, because he left a note.
Yeah.
Like, because he knew he was going to die.
Right.
Because he didn't have enough food.
Yeah.
Dude, that sounds like such a shitty way to die.
Right? Like, you just run out of food.
Like, I'm a fucking bitch when I'm hungry.
I know, me too.
Like,
I know.
I can't imagine.
It's sad. Like, it's sad how angry I get.
I'm like, and then I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why am I a psycho all of a
sudden?
Right,
I know. And I'm like, I don't need to eat.
Calm the fuck down.
Calm the fuck down.
I'm like, you.
And here we have the, people who, like...
Bring me food to my door now. Yeah, I mean, if only Grubhub was a thing, maybe he wouldn't have died in the bus.
Send to bus on blah, blah, blah.
Alaska. Thank you. Oh, man. I'm hungry now.
I'm hungry now.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah. So, what do you think about Mr. Hermit Man? What do you think?
I don't know. I kind of want to I don't know, look up this guy and what he looks like.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm gonna do that, but that's what I want to do.
No, yeah, like, I could only find, like, really, like, 1 or 2 pictures, and it was, like, the same thing. It was, like, him in the, like, jumpsuit, like, the jail jumpsuit.
Does it show his face and stuff, too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was another thing. When he was in jail, like, you remember how I said that he was, like, very, like, clean cut and stuff?
Yeah.
When he was in jail, he actually, like, let himself go.
Oh. Like,
so the pictures that you're gonna find, he has, like, a full beard and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Like, because he was so fucking depressed when he was in jail.
Yeah.
Because it was just too much. Everything was too much for him. But, yeah.
Huh.
So, I don't know. I just hope he's happy.
Yeah.
Or as happy as he can be.
Yeah. I mean, now he's kind of... I don't know. Unless he, like, went to another state or something. Figured it out. But I feel like he kind of already had his shot of being a hermit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, I don't know.
I feel like I just have so many questions, especially, like, to his mom. Like,
oh, yeah.
How did you feel about finding out your son was alive after all this time?
Well, like, that was a thing. Like, his family, like, even though they accepted that he could be dead, they never fully accepted that he was actually dead.
Right.
They thought, or like, he might just be, he's out there somewhere.
That's so weird.
So.
Imagine if he was, like, secretly, like, sending them letters or something.
Right.
Like, hey, like, once every year or something.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm a hermit.
Thanks.
Bye.
But, yeah, no, he had no correspondence with anyone.
Huh.
I also think that's wild that he didn't, like, want to keep a journal or anything.
Yeah, that's really weird to me.
Because, like, yeah. Or, like, all he did was, like, for fun was, like, basically listen to the radio or read.
Which, I mean, I guess, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I love reading, but, like, I also like doing other shit. Like crocheting.
Or, like, even, like, he could have drew.
Yeah, like he could have drawn shit and
Yeah.
fucking, or something.
Could
But
have
no.
pressed leaves into books.
Pressed leaves.
I don't know. I was just trying to think of something that could be outdoorsy.
Yeah. No.
I don't know.
Didn't have, it seemed like he had like no hobbies. So now I'm curious, like, what are his actual hobbies? Does he even like the idea of camping?
Like regular camping.
Yeah, like
I've done this, okay?
Yeah. I'm really good at this. Like, does he ever like feel the urge to just like set up a tent in the woods in the backyard and just be like,
Mom, I'm going out back. I need to do this.
I need to go tenting for the night. Thank you. But yeah, no, I don't know. I want to know if he does have any hobbies.
Right.
Christopher Knight, tell me, do you have hobbies?
Tell
us,
us.
please. I must know. No, I bet he would hate me and punch me in the face. He seems like he would.
I think he just hates everybody.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because like I couldn't find anything that like, if the journalist Michael Finkel was like, has been in touch with him ever since the last time they spoke. So, I don't know. Who knows what he's doing?
Let's reach out to Finkel.
Finkel. I know. I love that last name.
Finkel.
Finkel. Finkel. Einhorn. Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. Sorry. Ace Ventura.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. But, yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's all I got, man.
It's good. I liked it.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
That was a good one.
So,
Very interesting.
thank you.
It's like
I thought it
Sasquatch.
I thought you said it was like sex squatch.
Yes. Yeah. He's just out there being a sex squatch.
Ooh, I'm a sex squatch.
God, that's just a terrible picture in my brain.
Oh,
I don't even
man.
know really what it is.
I don't know.
But
I
it's just
like a sexy Sasquatch.
That's
like-
not what I was picturing. But
Oh.
okay.
Oh, okay, that's what I was picturing. Like Sasquatch in like a banana hammock.
Just like, yes, but also like I kind of like a rapey Sasquatch.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Just
Oh.
a, myth. And it's just Sasquatch just, yo, lone hiker.
Or like he's just like a public flasher. Like he comes out of the woods and just flashes his penis and then just runs away back into the woods. That's sex squatch.
Oh, I like
And
that
you're
one.
like, oh no, another sighting of sex squatch.
That's so terrible, but yes.
That's it. That's him. I wonder where he would buy his trench coats. Like, they'd have to be so big.
He'd probably make them,
Oh my god.
like out of animals or something.
Mm.
Because it's got to be camouflaged,
Oh,
too.
yes. Yes, true.
Yeah.
This is correct.
Yes. Oh, God.
I don't know why my head went to, like, leopard print.
Let me just kill this cheetah.
It's just, yes. I killed 2 cheetahs. I'm a sex squatch, you see. I'm tall. I need more cheetah flesh.
Oh, God.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well,
So, yeah, that I think that's it. That's what we got this week.
that's what we got this week.
Sex squatch and the North Pond Hermit. So, but yeah, we hope you guys have a great week. As always, thank you for listening. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions,
Concerns.
I have so many concerns, so please, reach out to us. You can email us at newstrangelandpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at newstrangelandpodcast. You can find us on the Twitter at newstrangeland. No podcast. And that's it. Yes.
Instagram.
And I said Instagram.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I could do it again.
No. All right.
And Yes.
Yes.
So slip and slide into those DMs, yo. Sex squatch.
Bunch of sex squatches.
Bunch of sexy squatches.
So terrible.
So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for joining
Thanks for
us.
visiting.
And visiting us.
New Strange.
New Strange Land.